What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you my entire Drew Barrymore Blu-ray collection. I personally have been watching Drew Barrymore ever since she was 7 years old and starred in E.T. As she was growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, her career was flourishing. But all of a sudden, as she got older, going into the late 90s, her career kind of stalled and fizzled because she did have a lot of personal problems that she did have to work through. But when we get into the 2000s, Adam Sandler cast Drew Barrymore opposite him in The Wedding Singer, and she had one of the biggest comebacks in Hollywood history. And she has been working steadily ever since. I love Drew Barrymore. It seems like when you look at her in movies or on TV, especially with her TV talk show, you can just tell that Drew Barrymore is so authentic and she is so real. And when she looks into your eyes and you're speaking to her, she actually cares about you and what you're saying. She just seems like such an amazing, incredible person, and that is very rare in Hollywood these days. So I love Drew Barrymore. I respect her a lot. So now's the time for me to show you every single movie of hers that I do have in my collection. And I am going to go in order of the filmography. I've decided to do that from now on. So the first movie that she ever did, or that I have in my collection, of course, is E.T. So as I said, she starred in this movie at 7 years old. Steven Spielberg is her godfather, and so she is in E.T., and she's just so memorable as Gertie. So I do have the regular 4K, but I also have this nice looking 4K steelbook as well. I believe this was a Target exclusive. Did I need it? No, not really, because I do have the regular 4K, but I did like the design of the 4K steelbook. So this was a double dip situation, but you gotta have E.T. If you grew up in the 80s, you gotta have E.T. in your collection. So moving on next to Firestarter. Now, I just talked about this movie in yesterday's video. It is still a challenge for me to get through this movie. I have not seen it completely until the very end because it seems like every single time I fall asleep right in the middle of the movie. I'm still not sure why that keeps happening, if I'm just tired every single time, because I've tried watching this movie 3 times and I fall asleep every single time. It's always around the same part of the movie and I don't know why. I'm not really sure if I'm just not into it or if I'm bored or if I'm just tired. I don't know. But one of these days, I am going to finish Firestarter. Trust me, it's one of my goals. Maybe it should be one of my physical media resolutions for next year. I'm not really sure, but I will finish it. All right, next up is Cat's Eye. So this movie I actually have not seen, obviously, because it's still sealed. The tape is still there on the snapper case, but this was sent over. I think, if my memory is serving me correctly, Jesse sent this over to me. I could be wrong, but I think he did. But this is one of her movies that I have not seen, so I gotta break that seal and watch this movie sometime soon, maybe in October for, Halloween month. Who knows? Next up, Babes in Toyland. This is from Kino Lorber, and I have not seen this one. I have not seen this one yet. It's got Keanu Reeves, man. I have got to watch this soon. I really do. So maybe this coming holiday season we'll break out Babes in Toyland. Okay, so this next movie, I had no idea she was a part of this little franchise, Waxwork, I don't know, but according to IMDb and Drew Barrymore's filmography, she's in Waxwork 2. What's the Waxwork 2 Lost in Time? I still haven't seen either one of these. The plastic is still on there, so it's still sealed up. I don't know what she plays. I think it's like some random victim in the movie. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it. When did this come out? It says 1991 on the back. I'm not really sure if this was the start of the time period of kind of like the downfall of her career, and maybe she did this movie out of having to pay the bills. I'm not really sure. I don't know, but apparently she's in this movie. So gonna have to check that out sometime in the future. Next up is Gun Crazy. This movie's okay. It's all right. It's not one of her best films, but definitely kind of like outside of the box for her, I would say. It's not like your normal, typical Drew Barrymore performance, and this is obviously from MVD. All right, I watched this movie just the other night. It is Wayne's World 2. Yes, she's in Wayne's World 2. She has a little cameo in the movie. She plays a secretary that is from Sweden, and she has this funny exchange between her and Mike Myers, and it's just a funny little cameo that she does, and it's nice to see her pop up in this movie. In Wayne's World 2, there's a lot of like little cameos like that, and she's one of them, so that was fun. Next up, we have another Kino Lorber title. We have Mad Love, her and Chris O'Donnell. This movie is nice to see her in because she's more serious in this film. This is a dramatic role for her. She is falling in love with Chris O'Donnell and vice versa, but you can tell that she has, or her character has a lot of issues and a lot of problems, like mental health issues, and he's trying to understand this. I actually really like commend this movie because back in, when did this come out? Back in 1995, when this movie came out, movies really weren't focusing in on mental health all that much. It's more common nowadays because I feel like the entire conversation about mental health is just more common. It's in the everyday conversation, where back in the 90s, it wasn't really. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I want to like point this movie out just a little bit for really diving deep into mental health with her character. And I think she puts out a great performance with this movie. So if you haven't seen Mad Love, then you may want to watch it or pick it up just to see her performance, because it is not the normal Drew Barrymore that we're used to. Okay, so Drew Barrymore has done it all in her career. She was even in a comic book movie, Batman Forever. Yes, she was in Batman Forever. She was Sugar, if I'm remembering correctly, when Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones have like their girlfriends. We have Sugar, and that's her character, and there's also Spice, played by a different actress. I think Debbie Mazar is Spice. So Drew Barrymore is in this movie for maybe 15 minutes total, if that, but she's in here. She can say she was in a comic book movie, so I mean, you gotta love Batman Forever. It's a great film. I mean, it's not like the super best, but as far as Batman movies, it's a lot of fun. It's cheesy fun. All right, now we are getting to one of my favorite movies of all time. You guys know this. She is my favorite opening kill of any horror film that has ever existed. Of course, I'm talking about Scream. And a little bit of trivia, in case you guys do not know this, is that Drew Barrymore was originally cast as Sydney, but she preferred to be the opening kill because she thought if she died as a name and she died in the opening of the movie, that would really tell people that anyone can go in this film. No one is safe. And so they decided to switch roles, and she went to the opening kill instead of being Sydney, and Neve Campbell became our Sydney Prescott. And I love this opening so much. It is so scary. It still frightens me to this day. I mean, it sounds so weird in saying that because I've seen this movie so many times, but just the fact that if you're alone in your house and someone is calling you and stalking you and taunting you, oh my gosh, like it just gives you chills, absolute chills. So one of the best, my personal favorite, but one of the best opening kills of all time in the horror genre. And she will always be known for that. And of course, I also have the 4K Steelbook of Scream as well. All right, so the next item I'm going to show you is a triple pack, all with Drew. This is like the Drew Barrymore triple pack of movies. So we have got The Wedding Singer, Going the Distance, and Music and Lyrics. So this was a nice Blu-ray triple set of rom-com movies, and obviously my favorite is The Wedding Singer. I love this movie so much. It's my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Yes, he has done so many great comedies, but for me, The Wedding Singer is just, it's top. It's top of the pile. I love this movie. I've seen both of these movies just once. I would like to revisit, but I feel like this triple pack right here really represents Drew in such a positive way. She's just, when she's in a rom-com, that is where she excels. And she's so great. And those comedic moments that she has with her leading man, whoever it is, she's just so great and so wonderful. So if you haven't picked up this Blu-ray triple pack, I do recommend, because she's great in all of them. She's great in all of them. Okay, but probably my favorite rom-com that she's in besides The Wedding Singer, I love Never Been Kissed. Now, granted, the situation is like kind of unbelievable and totally out there and totally weird. But if you just, let your mind go and just accept the movie for what it is just so wonderful. And I love her in this movie so much. She plays Josie, who was not popular in high school at all. She was like the nasty girl in class. You know what I'm saying? There's always like one nasty girl in the class. I don't mean to be mean when I say that, but you know what I'm talking about. There's like the girl that you don't want to talk to. It looks like she hasn't washed her hair in a week, that type. So that's what she was in high school. And she grows up to be a journalist, and she gets assigned to go back to high school to write this article. So she has to do research in high school, and she's trying to fit in, and she's not really, but then she finds her place. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good, and it's so 90s. This movie is so 90s. Wait, is it 90s? Hold on. Maybe it's early 2000s. 1999. I just made it. So this movie is so 90s. There's a lot of other up and coming stars in this movie as well. Also, David Arquette is in the movie too. So I like that. They play brother and sister. So Never Been Kissed. If you haven't seen this movie, you really need to. She's so good. So, so good. And she's done action, of course. Let's not forget action, because obviously she brought back Charlie's Angels, because Drew Barrymore and her film company bought the rights to Charlie's Angels, and she wanted to put out a new revamped Charlie's Angels, and she wanted to star in the movie alongside Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu. These are my Charlie's Angels, okay? I know we have the original ones, Farrah Fawcett, back in the 70s. I get that. But these are my Charlie's Angels. And also Sam Rockwell's in this movie, so obviously another bonus. But I just love this movie so much. It is so outlandish. It is so crazy. But I don't care. I don't care. I love it. And I'll watch it over and over again. I do also have the sequel, Full Throttle. I did recently find that in my DVD stack from storage, but I didn't want to go through all the DVDs just to find that one movie. I was kind of lazy last night. I apologize. So I'm just representing both of those movies with the Steelbook, but I do have the DVD for the sequel as well. So there we go. Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. Gotta love it. All right, next up, we have got Donnie Darko, and I still have not seen this movie, so I don't know what kind of character she plays. I don't even know what this movie is about. I'm completely in the dark. This was a blind buy, so she's in here too, but I still have not seen it. Next on the list is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. She plays the girlfriend of Sam Rockwell. Again, Sam Rockwell. They've done about 3 or 4 movies together. I have a couple of them, but I think they've done 3, and I need the other one. They play brother and sister in that movie, I think. But in this film, this is based on a true story. Chuck Barris, I believe. Yeah, Chuck Barris and Sam Rockwell plays the main character, and Drew Barrymore plays his girlfriend in the movie. So I really enjoyed this film. I love my true stories and my biopics. This is directed by George Clooney. Great movie. Great movie. Kind of underrated, I think, just a little bit. Okay. So the next film I have from my Drew Barrymore collection, this was recently sent over by Jesse. I do remember this one. It is Duplex with Drew Barrymore and Ben Stiller. I have not seen this movie, but I've heard it is funny. So I look forward to watching this whenever I get to it. Whenever I get to it. That will be good. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so Drew Barrymore teamed up with Adam Sandler yet again for 50 First Dates. I recently rewatched this movie a couple of months ago. I forgot how much I loved this movie. It is just so good. Their chemistry together as actors is undeniable. It's natural. They just have it. And they have the third movie that they did together, Blended. I still have not seen that movie, but I'm sure it's just the same. I'm not really sure about the movie itself. I've heard mixed reviews about that film, but with Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates, there we go. They completely hit it out of the park with both of these movies because their chemistry is just so good. Another rom-com for the Drew Barrymore collection, we have He's Just Not That Into You. This is one of those movies. This was like the trend for a while in the 2000s where we had these movies that had huge all-star casts, and we have these storylines that intersect with one another and they're all joined and linked by one other person, and this is one of these movies. And I would say it's not her best because she's really not the focus. She's just one of the people in the movie. She's fine. She's fine. She's playing her part, the typical Drew Barrymore character in a movie like this, but it's not one of the movies I think of automatically when they say, Drew Barrymore, 5 movies, name them. I wouldn't name He's Just Not That Into You. Like Wedding Singer, E.T., 50 First Dates, Scream. That's what I'd say. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't name this one. So this one is just okay. It's like every couple of years watch it, just for, just to see her, I guess, but not a go-to for me. Okay, so the next film I just picked up at Bull Moose because of the awesome green case. It is Whip It. She's in this movie, but also she directed the film as well. And this is all about women with roller derby. And I have not seen this movie in a while, but it's good. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought she did a great job directing this film. So I'm looking forward to watching it again. All right. So when I hold up this next title, you may be like, what? Questioning just a little bit? Did you know she's in Scream 5? If you're not a hardcore Scream franchise fan, you may not realize that Drew Barrymore is in Scream 5, but you don't see her, you just hear her voice. She is very early on in the film where she is the principal of the high school, and she is announcing over the intercom something about getting out early or shut down of the school, that typical announcement that principals have to make when, things are getting, wild and crazy. She's the voice of the principal over the intercom. So that's a little bit of fun trivia for you in case you guys did not realize that she is in Scream 5 just as a voice. They kind of wanted to link her in somehow, some way. So obviously they can't have her physically there. So they had her voice in the movie. And of course, I also have the 4K Steelbook as well, which is awesome. There we go. Okay. So the final movie I have in my Drew Barrymore collection is Smile 2. And I thought about it for a second when I saw this on the filmography and I said, she was in Smile 2. She was as herself when our lead character from this movie goes on to the Drew Barrymore talk show. I completely forgot about that entire, it's not the opening scene, but it's very close to the beginning of the movie when our lead character is talking about her new tour and getting through a hard part in her life. There we go. And I forgot. Drew Barrymore is in the first 15 minutes of this movie. So Smile 2. She's also in Smile 2. So that is my complete Drew Barrymore Blu-ray collection as of right now. It could always grow in the future, but comment down below and let me know what is your favorite Drew Barrymore movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you next time.